So after some hard research and some looking around, I looked at so many things on Amazon where you can hook up two German Shepherds and literally walk them in front of you. Now, a lot of times I'll walk my German Shepherds one on each side, and it's been a long time since they've been out. So I had my leather collars come in, and I put them on both dogs. I decided to go out and take the dogs for a walk, and lo and behold, Cosmo, my big black German Shepherd, gets loose. And he's in heaven. He's running everywhere, me chasing behind him looking like an idiot. He finally went up on a porch. He got trapped, and I was able to get the collar back on him. My fault. I should have went one more notch with the collar. So that didn't work. I had each dog on each side finally, and then I was walking them around. They seen a black cat. Oh my God, they both took off. I thought I was going to end up, I did end up on my butt on the ground. I was like, okay, they need work. Now, I do have a prong collar, which I bought quite some time ago. I just haven't had time to use it. And I was kind of skeptical because it looks like it's going to hurt a little bit. So I put it on Cosmo and walked around in the bunker. And boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, in about 3 minutes, he got good real quick. He took the command sit, no problem. He knows what that command is. He just totally decides to be stubborn sometimes. So, okay, so I take just him outside with the prong collar, and he is as good as can be. He sits, he's walking nice, everything's great. Okay, come back down, decide to put the prong collar on the pup, and take the pup for a little walk around the bunker. Now, she was not sure what to do, so she was kind of confused at first. Took maybe 20 minutes. All of a sudden, I was walking with her. Cosmo was walking on the other side of me with no leash, with no nothing. I would look at her and say, sit, and she would sit, and next thing I got Cosmo sitting beside me. Everybody wants to be good now. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. So after hours, and I mean hours, we're talking 7 hours of looking on Amazon for some type of leash where I could hook up two dogs to walk in front of me. And that was very, very difficult, okay? They didn't have anything. It was all China garbage. There was nothing decent. You know, sometimes there are just products on Amazon that what you want just ain't there. And I don't like buying shit. I like buying good stuff. You'll find a lot of the reviews is stuff I bought. Well, I settled on this. I found this guy on Etsy. He's from Lithuania, just outside of Russia. They actually departed from Russia. And basically, this is what he's going to make for me. Now, this is very, very important. This is a detachable, heavy-duty dog harness with climbing equipment. And he's braiding. This is a King Cobra braid. So basically, it's going to have this clip that you see here with this handle. And this is taken apart. Okay? Now you'll notice we got two connections here. One that connects to each dog. These will be 6 feet long. This will be 2 feet long. But I didn't like this part here, and I asked him, can you braid this also? And he said, yes, he can, for an additional $25. So this is what he's invoicing me for, which I'm going to pay him on Friday. And then he has to make it. It takes a couple of weeks to come all the way from Lithuania all the way here. I hope I'm saying that right and not butchering it. At any point, this allows me to walk both dogs out in front of me. This connects to this, okay, to the handles. I can put a carabiner on here and hook it up to my backpack. At the same time, he's got braided handles here, shortened here. So if I want, I can put both dogs on each side of me, and I can walk both dogs. One on each side. Or connect this to this. This will all be braided. And then, now they can walk out in front of me and be together and walk side by side. So this is the plan that's going around in my head. And it's going to happen. Because I'm going to go buy another claw collar and it's going to go on the pup. Is what it's going to do. So, in that way, if they decide, when I put them out in front of me to walk side by side, if they decide to try and take off, well, that claw collar is going to say, no, 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 you're not doing that. So they're going to have to be good dogs. When this whole setup is complete, that I've asked for, because it's like $25 for shipping, the grand total, from what I can figure out, should be around $400. So this is going to be like the ultimate leash on steroids. It's going to do it all. Is what it's going to do. I can have a short 6-foot leash. I can shorten up on the sides. I can have 2 dogs out in front of me. And this is all made with heavy-duty climbing equipment. Just these gadgets right here that has the swivel, even if I tried to make this myself, okay, I could save some money if I made it myself. I would have to buy 2 of these. These are like $70 a piece. So you need 2, so that's $140. This thing's like $40, okay? So now you're at what? Almost $200 before you've even added rope and before you've even added all this special braiding here that probably takes a good day or 2, which I don't have time to do because I work for a living. So basically, I would say if I was to try and do all this, then it would probably run me probably in around $260, $270. So, and because it's lithium, I'm probably botching that up. Basically, it's probably their cost of living is much lower. If you were to get something like this made in USA, I mean, God, you'd probably be looking at $600. I would say anywhere given, because when it's all said and done, and I figured out everything and all the parts and everything to do, I mean, it's probably $150 profit is what he's making, and that's USD. So this is going to be cool. Now, I do have a couple climbing rope leashes I made myself, which are awesome. I've even made short ones, but nothing like this. Nothing like this at all. And this is the color it's going to be made in, where you see the red line going around here. That's simply going to be braided all the way around. And that is going to connect to these 2. And then once it's braided all the way around and you pull it off as a leash and you want to use these 2 as a leash and you just shove this one in your pack, then it looks pretty cool. So we're looking at a black climbing rope with a gray paracord with a king cobra weave with the 2 extra handles here and the handle here, which is basically going to tie this whole thing together. Expensive. $400. Yes, very expensive. But I'm going to tell you, I'm never going to buy another one again. And it's going to be so cool when I get all this together, because I can't leave the dogs home. You know, winter's here. I want to go camping. I want to go backpacking. That's all there is to it. I can't leave Cosmo here. Cosmo will hurt my wife. She's just not strong enough to handle that dog. She is too frail. You know, my wife might weigh 120 pounds soaking wet. She's a tiny woman. So, I mean, there's no way. And she always tells me when I say I'm leaving and I'm going camping, she says, "You're taking those dogs, right?" I mean, my wife loves her Pomeranians. She loves her kitty cats. She's just not a big person dog. You know, when she has come down here, and they've seen her, the one time she came down, they were both barking at her, and she says, "Why they bark?" I said, "You never come down. The only time you come down is in a storm." I says, "Come on." So she really does not like big dogs. I guess her parents used to raise Dobermans, and she didn't even like that. But I love German Shepherds. Always has been. And as soon as you start getting into, like I uploaded a video of what it costs to feed these dogs, I mean, it's not cheap. And I'm not uploading those videos and saying, "Hey, look at me, I got money." That's not what I'm doing. You know, there's people out there that have sent me private messages saying, "Oh, I'd love to get a German Shepherd." Look, you need to pay attention to what that cost. And that's why I'm uploading them. I don't want to see some poor German Shepherd end up at a house and then they realize, "Oh my God, I got into more than I could imagine." You get into big dogs, there's money. And that's all there is to it. There's not just money in food. There's money in leashes. No, you don't need the best of the best like I'm buying. But you do need to have a claw collar for a big dog. And they run about $60, $70. You are going to need a good strong collar on them. Something you can grab a hold like I did. That was $50 a piece. 2 German Shepherds, $100. I mean, cost is there. You know, look at the vet bills I paid. I mean, Cosmo, I got him neutered. So that was $300 to get him neutered. And you can't get a German Shepherd neuter as a little puppy to save money on weight. They need to wait a couple of years before they get neutered, because some type of chemical they're releasing into their body, or you'll just end up with a dead dog in 6 years. Like, all this takes a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of research. So you better really love that German Shepherd. And I love my German Shepherds with all my heart. So, I mean, there's a lot of cost. Now, when you buy stuff like this, okay, think about it. You buy it one time. You're not going to buy it again. You know, that's it. That problem of leashes and everything else is taken away. Okay, claw collar. I need to buy one more. I'm going to pick that up Friday. So that way they both have a claw. So now when they're walking out in front of me, the two of them will have a collar, and if they decide to take off, they're going to get a rude awakening really quick. Now the problem with a claw collar is sometimes they come off the neck. They're not like a super sturdy collar for staying on the neck because they sit higher. So you then need a little clasp to hook onto the claw collar, which isn't much money, and then you clip it on your leather collar like I got. And when all this stuff comes in and it's all set up, I'll show you and I'll give you a more detailed rundown. But one thing's for sure. You don't want to turn around and go and get yourself a German Shepherd and then be regretting you did it. Because Cosmo, my black German Shepherd, showed up in my yard with barbed wire wrapped around his neck. It was embedded in his neck. I seen that and I just went, oh no, this is just horrible. And he was such an excited dog. So I took him downstairs to the bunker. We sat down with the players and we started peeling the barbed wire out of his neck, and he was crying. And now this was a complete stranger dog that I'm doing this to. Most people would be scared to do that because they'd be scared of getting bit by that dog. I'm not scared of German Shepherds. Never have been. So I get it all out, and then I use a 3-in-1 salve to push in there and basically get them all healed up. It took 2 months minimum of just getting him to act normal. Every time I stood up from my chair, he'd start spinning like crazy, knocking things over. I mean, it was ridiculous. He had no training in him whatsoever. Whoever had him tied to a tree outside and never spent any time with him. He was extremely skinny. I was worried he had issues. Okay, I had to run him into the vet and have them have a look at him. And he checked out pretty good. We had to check him for parasites and all that. You know, all that had to be checked. So for that dog to come out green. But he is still quite excited. Now, since he's been neutered, it has calmed down a little bit. I am starting to notice it. You know, like when I stand out, he'll do a couple turns, not 20 like he used to. And him and Nova, the pup, they play constantly. They are constantly playing all over the place out here. You know. And it's just so funny. One will lay on their... And they both do this. They'll lay on their back while the other one's playing with them. And then sometimes they get out of hand. And one will hurt the other one. I've even had the pup hurt Cosmo. But they get along so beautiful. It's just so amazing to watch. But I think I'm equipped. I got everything. And this is just like... You know, when you make a get-home bag, you make a decent backpack. What kind of equipment are you going to carry? Some people like to carry, you know, a $200 China tent. Some people, I like to carry a good $400 tent. I mean, it depends what you want and what you can afford. But one thing's for sure. I like to have the proper equipment for the proper job. And it's the same thing when I do a job. I like to have the proper tools to do a job. Every time I've tried to go cheap, next thing you know, it breaks or something goes wrong. It just never does what I want. And then I'm kicking myself in the ass saying, why didn't I buy the better one? And it's just the way it is. You get what you pay for. And this is all handmade with mountain climbing gear. So there's nothing this is ever going to do. But when it comes in, I'll give you a show and tell of it. I can't even give you an affiliate link because this is all handmade. And I've actually requested that when this guy's done making this, I want to see pictures. I've also told him it better be done properly and you better take your time because I'm not going to pay for something if I don't like it. He says, nope, I send you pictures. Everything will be perfect. I said, all right, that's what I want to hear. So anybody has a big dog out there, gotta admit, this thing is cool.